Hi, this is Jim over at Cherry Logistics. In the video we're going to take a look at is going to walk us through how to view and manage the out-of-scope proposals in the web portal for our service providers. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. We're going to log in as the test provider, Black Dirt Plowing Company, and log into the portal. Once we're there, we're going to go to the main menu drop down to Home and then Proposals. That'll bring up the proposal screen for this particular service provider, and it'll list all the existing proposals that are associated with that service provider. So these records are very similar to other screens that has multiple records on it. You have the column headings across the top that are sortable. You have the multi-row feature, so if you wanted to see more rows on the page, you can select the amount of rows you want to see, and you can also scroll across to the different page numbers to see additional records that way. You have the quick search feature here, and you also have the time zone feature. If you have customers that have locations outside of your time zone that you're viewing this information, you can click on this customer time zone button, and then that'll identify those time zones outside your own to see the correct time for those areas. The other features that they have on the screen is the advanced search feature, so that you can search through all the information that reside in the columns based on the filter boxes here. You would just type in the information to identify it, and then go ahead and select apply filter, and it would show you just those records that had that information that you identified here. The other feature that's included in this screen is the export feature. Export feature allows you to take whatever records are on the screen, either all of the entirety here, all 84 in this case, or the ones you filtered down to, and then export them out to an Excel document. And then once they're an Excel document, you can do several different things with them from there. So if we just wanted to take the 84 records here and go ahead and export them out, we would just click on the export button. For this particular browser, the export download just lands on the bottom corner of this browser screen. However, your browser, depending on what type of browser you're using, might do it differently. It might have a download file that it manages from, or it may place it somewhere else. But this particular one, we're just going to go ahead and open. The Excel document will open here. We'll expand these rows out so you can see the information. So now all those 84 line items are on this Excel document. So from here you can basically do anything you need to do, create your own reports, import it into maybe your own accounting system, track however information you wanted to track, view information, view visuals from here. You can create your own graphs to give you some visual information of how many customer locations you have proposals for, that type of thing. So once it's an Excel document, then you can certainly look at the information there a lot of different ways. So that's the export function. Let's take a look at the quick search function, and then we'll take a look at some of the proposal process. So if I go to the drop down view here to look at my advanced filterings, it will allow me to have multiple filters selected, so we can choose filter by proposal number, we can choose to do proposal name, customer, location ID. Again, anything that has a column heading will be a filter option, so that we can identify the records from the information within those columns. So let's go ahead and just choose a status for a filter. So let's just go ahead and choose new proposals. So we'll apply that filter, and then those records that are identified with that new status will then come up here. There's 6 of them. And then we see in this cloud area, this filter cloud area, what filter criteria has been identified, which is the new. We can go ahead and click on this blue square, or I'm sorry, this blue X, and then that will delete that filter, and then all the records will appear. Or you can go ahead and click on remove filter. But it does give you the opportunity to add another filter. So if we wanted to look at provider review, we can look at the ones that are have been submitted to the provider for the review and any editing that needs to be done on those proposal records. So now we picked up a couple different records here for provider review for a total of 8 records. And again, we see the 2 criteria that was selected in this cloud area. So let's go ahead and take a look at what a proposal looks like when we go to view it. We're going to go ahead and take this proposal. It already has some line items in here. This is, again, some of the test proposals that we've created. In order to do that, you would just go ahead and select the proposal menu right here, and you can review that proposal. The actual columns will give you a lot of information as an overview for the proposal. It'll show you the proposal number, show you the proposal name, the customer name. It'll show you the location ID. If there's any other location naming for that particular customer, it'll be listed in this column here. If there's a dollar amounts associated with those proposals, will be listed in the total column. The current status of that proposal will be listed here, and then this SR number is really a service report number. So if the proposal has been approved by the customer and the work has been completed, and then you go ahead and submit it to us, this proposal number then will be converted into a work order number, and it will be listed in this column here. And this column is actually going to provide a live link for you for that work order number. You would click on that work order number, and it would navigate right to the service history screen, so you can see the details, if you wish to, of that specific work order. So again, let's go take a look at the details in here. But first I want to show you one other part of the records here. Is if it has this drop down arrow, it means that there's more information that resides here. In this case, the customer location address, the PO number. If there was a PO number associated with this proposal, it would be listed here. The number of items associated with the proposal is listed. The last time and date that it was updated, and who updated that proposal. Their name would also be identified here. So let's take a look at the proposal itself. We click on the menu item and then go ahead and select Review Proposal. So again, this would be a proposal that we have gotten the scope of work from the customer. So Cherry would probably go ahead and set that up as a blank template with you. But this particular one does have some items in here. So we see along the top here, we identify the customer's name. We identify the customer's address. A proposal number is generated for it. We can go ahead and give it a name if we wanted to. Typically, that's going to be the customer's name, and probably something to relate to the type of work that the proposal is going to include, like for example, a sewer repair. We have the status of the proposal. This one is under provider review. So again, Cherry has sent it on to the service provider. That service provider is Black Dirt Plowing Company. The contact phone number is here, and that contact person's email address is here also. If that PO number was associated with it, it would be in this field here, along with any type of description associated with it. And if there was a due date that we had to give back by to the customer by, it would be listed here also. So here's all the line items associated with that proposal. If it was a little more lengthy, you might be able to utilize the quick search feature to identify specific items if it was a longer list of items. We can use this as our start base, or we can add additional materials and services by clicking on this button here. And what that does is it brings up a blank template. So if we wanted to add more materials here, we can do that, put the description of what those materials are going to be, select the type of information that is. Either it's going to be material, it's going to be a labor cost, or it could be other could be fees associated with permitting, that type of thing. So this particular one is a material cost. The rate is going to be, let's make it $300, and we're going to need 3 of those. So once we finish that information, it'll total us up for here on the bottom to give us our $900 for this material cost. We can save that, and then that $900 line item for those materials is then added to the list of records below, and then the total amount at the bottom reflects those additional items. If we wanted to delete a line item here, we can just go ahead to the menu item and then select delete. We have a final choice to do that, and then we go ahead and delete that line item. It's removed, and the total again reflects the new dollar amount associated with all the rates. So we can do that for labor, we can do that for others, and continue to add line items to complete that proposal. If we needed to adjust something let's look at this labor line, we can go ahead and click Edit from the menu. Now we have all that information here. We would just click on the Edit button, and we can change the type of item it's going to be, but if we want to leave it at labor and then go ahead and change, instead of 2 hours, it's actually going to take us 3 hours now. Again, that rate will then change on the bottom to $600 here. We go ahead and save that and close it, and now that $600 labor piece is added to our total, and the rate on the bottom is adjusted altogether. So that's all the line items. Once we have that all completed for the proposal, we can take a look at if we want to add any attachments. So the attachments tab here will show us any existing attachments associated with this proposal, and it gives us the opportunity to add more attachments if we needed to. If we wanted to view an attachment, we can just go ahead and click on the menu to view that attachment in a larger view. We can see the thumbnail here, we see the file name, the type of attachment it is, in this case both photos, who uploaded those photos, and when they uploaded them. So it's basically the same information for this test one. We can view that attachment here in a larger view, or we can go ahead and also have the option to download that through our browser, and again, then that way we can have it on our computer if we need it for additional documentation in an email or some other document. If we wanted to add additional attachments, we would just go ahead and click on Add Attachments. The Add Attachment box comes up. We can click on this green box here to open up and browse for the specific file that we were looking for on our computer, or we can just drag and drop the file from our desktop to this area here. So I have the exact same photo for that sewer repair job. I just drag it over here. I can go ahead and give it a name and select the file type. Go ahead and start the download. You can see it downloads it very quickly, and then go ahead and save it. So now we have a third attachment here, right in line with the other attachments for this proposal. Once I'm done adding photos of the work area or any document, other information that I wanted to add to the proposal, I would just go ahead and arrow back to the proposal screen, and now everything is completed. I have all my line items for my labor and my materials and any other fees associated with the proposal, and I have my associated documentation attached to it, and I can just go ahead now and click this action button and then submit it over to Cherry Logistics. And then that will open it up in Cherry's portal. They would be able to review it then, make sure everything matches what the customer is looking for, and then if it looks good, to go ahead and submit it to the customer for approval. Once we do get the approval for that proposal, then we would send it back to the provider, and it would be a little bit different status. So if we wanted to see what that looks like, we would go ahead and look at the provider authorization for service review. So what this is it has a proposal here that's been approved by the customer. Cherry has been authorized to go ahead and have that service provider complete that work that was proposed. So we have that record here. Again, the little drop down arrow shows us some additional information for that particular proposal. But we can go ahead and print that authorization for services document right here from this menu. Once we click on it, again, it's just a download. Ends up down here in this particular browser. I can click on it, and now I have a printed version here of that document. It's the authorization for services from Cherry, so that those line items listed on that proposal, Exhibit A, will be listed here, and usually we say that we're looking to have that work performed in the above stated as it lists in that proposal by a specific date, and we reiterate the dollar amount down here also, so that matches the total. And then we'd have a accepted by and date and that type of thing. So again, we have one that you can go ahead and print right for your records here, or download it if you needed to. But also this particular information and document reside right within the proposal. So if you wanted to review the proposal, again, you can see all the information that was associated with the proposal that we saw similar to the last one. These are all the items for that Exhibit A. And then you have down here the authorization for service information. Again, the same information that you saw in that document, the same dates. You would go ahead and click here to accept it, and the date would populate here then go ahead and schedule that work with Cherry Logistics. So the other action item here is to be able to download that AFS report, similar like we did with the drop-down menu from the main screen. So again, that's what the proposal process looks like on the portal. A lot of functionality. It makes it a lot easier for you to navigate and create proposals through Cherry system. This can also be done on the mobile app, which we'll cover in a different video, but it has a lot of the same similar functionality that you can do from your smartphone also. So I hope you found this information useful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call here over at Cherry Logistics, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks.